wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints. Money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was meant to be. Living in a time where disease is on every screen. I won't let them fester me, I know most are festering. Negativity is a plague for the mentally weak. No mercy, all I got is working.
What's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, all the beautiful folks out there. My name is ATX Crypto, and whether you're a long-term viewer or new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Make sure that you are subscribed and ring the bell icon to stay updated, because today we're diving in to the transformative power, of course, of DCA. That is dollar cost averaging. But folks, we're not just going to talk theory. We're actually going to share some real results from the past 6 weeks. So folks, let's get started, okay? Now, 6 weeks ago, September 15th, 2023, we embarked on a journey, aka we can call it a DCA experiment, focusing on the 4 pillars of the crypto ecosystem. That is Pulse Chain, Pulse X, Hex on both networks, Pulse Chain and Hex on Ethereum. Now, folks, just $5 a day, we've been investing into each of these assets. And the numbers are eye-opening, folks, and this is just the beginning. So let's take a little gander at actually what's been going on, what's happened, and take a little sight as to how we're looking. So, folks, as you can see right here, so far we've invested a total of $215 into Pulse Chain, obtaining 4.7 million tokens with an average price. And again, y'all can see this right here, but I'll zoom in just to make sure that everyone can see it a lot easier and nicer as well. So you can see right here, we have Pulse Chain starting. Whoops, let me scoot over just a little bit. I see it blocked off. Perfect. We've been able to accumulate 4.7 million tokens with an average price of 40457. Now today, those very same tokens of the exact same amount of pulse are actually at 40587, representing a growth of 28% in the last 6 weeks. Now, similarly, we actually did another $215 into Pulse X. That actually had an average of almost 18 million, 17.9 million tokens. Now, the current price of Pulse X is sitting at 40165. And again, we actually have the average price sitting at 40120, meaning there's a gain of about 37.5% already there. Now, when you start getting into the other tokens, Hex on both networks, we can take a look first at the Hex on the Ethereum network. Let me scroll up just a smidge. Whoops. I can see I'm blocking it just a smidge. Let me get myself out the way. Boom, save and update. Perfect. So on the Hex side, we have Hex on Pulse Chain. Again, we've been able to accumulate roughly about 25,000 tokens with an average price of 2085. And today, those very same tokens are sitting at 1032, which is a penny 32. Okay, that's a rise of around 55% as well. And last but not least, folks, Hex on the Ethereum network, the last pillar of the Richard ecosystem, final coming into place right here. We've been also able to accumulate with the same $215, 57,500 tokens in the span of the last 6 weeks. Now, this has an average price of 20373, and we're currently valued at 20785. Now, that's more than a double. That's more than 100% increase, folks. So what does this tell us, right? It actually shares a lot of information. It shares it literally proves the power of DCA. You see, markets are volatile. They swing up and down every day. If you try to time the market, you're gambling. But with DCA, you get to mitigate the risk. So whether or not you buy, regardless of the price, whether it's high or low, over time, the highs and the lows average out. And you benefit overall of the upward trend of the market. Now, folks, the journey isn't over here. We're still continuing this strategy for another 6 to 12 months, regardless of what the market conditions are doing. It's not about the short-term gains. It's about building long-term wealth. So now that we've unpacked some of the results, let's unpack what the actual numbers mean, right? You You see, one of the biggest misconceptions people have about investing, particularly in cryptocurrencies, is that you need a large sum of money to start. And that couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, our DCA strategy began with just $5 a day into each of these ecosystems. $5, folks. Literally count it up with the ones right here. There we go. Got them ones ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. $5 a day, folks. $5 a day into this ecosystem. That is not that hard to imagine. $5 into Hex, Pulse Chain, PulseX, and Hex on Ethereum. Now, some of the people, of course, as we already know, that's less than a cup of coffee at some places, right? But some of y'all people might actually be thinking, but ATX, those gains are fantastic. 6 weeks, but what about long term? Let's talk about that, guys. Traditional investments like stocks, bonds, generally offer an annual return ranging anywhere between 5 to even possibly 20% if you're lucky. What we're seeing here with our DCA into crypto are gains that could outpace those traditional metrics significantly. We've only scratched the surface with just 6 weeks of data. And another point worth mentioning is the psychological benefit to DCAing, folks. Investing, it can be stressful. Prices go up, prices plummet. It's a roller coaster of emotions. They can lead to impulsive decisions and brash decisions one way or the other, entering or exiting. And all DCA does is allow us to smooth out the emotional curve because you're not overly concerned with the daily fluctuation, weekly fluctuation, or even monthly fluctuation. Your focus is on the end game, and that's each $5 that you put in is a stepping stone towards the long-term goal. Now you might ask, what about market downturns? And that's also the same thing. Isn't it risky to keep buying when the market's not doing well, right? Like, it's a valid concern, to be fair. However, DCA shines through even in that scenario as well. When the market's down, your $5 actually buys you more tokens, effectively allowing you to buy the dip without the emotional toll of trying to time the market. And when the market recovers, you stand to gain even more. So let's consider the aspect of diversification. Our DCA approach isn't just tied to one asset. We're spreading the risk and the opportunity across the Pulse Chain, PulseX, Hex on both networks. This is an essential strategy in any investment portfolio, but especially in crypto, given its inherent volatilities, right? So I know some of the people are skeptical about cryptocurrency, claiming that they're too volatile, too risky. And let me tell you this, every asset class comes with its own risk. But with risk comes reward, folks. The DCA experiment demonstrates, the Pulse Challenge demonstrates, guys, put a Pulse Challenge in the chat. Anyone watching the replay who's joining me along this journey as well, put hashtag Pulse Challenge. Let's let everyone know that we have this going. The Pulse Challenge is to continue to DCA for the span of the next 6 to 12 months. The DCA is showing that it can demonstrate with discipline, you can navigate through the risk and actually come out ahead. So going forward, our commitment to this DCA strategy remains. It remains steadfast. We've seen the results and done the math, and we're only just looking at 6 weeks into the picture. Wait until you can get a perspective and see over the next 6 to 12 months. So we're going to continue to invest system, irrespective of whether or not the market's booming or going through a correction, because the beauty of this strategy is its scalability. So maybe $5 a day seems minuscule now, but what if that scale? What if you scale that up? What if over time you can afford to invest $10 a day, $20 a day, or even $50 a day? With the compounding effect, of course, that could be life-changing, folks, and we're going to explore that in future videos. Let me say hello to some beautiful people who got to come through and join us on this journey as well. What's going on, Godfather J6, my friend? How are you? Kaisa? Hello, happy Friday to every single one of y'all, guys. TGIF, am I right? Happy Friday, Alan Fizme. Crypto Truck in the house. What's up, my friend? LFG, ATX, much love, Heximus. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yo, what's up, Disciple? How you doing, man? Amazing, man. Weekend is always great. Absolutely. It sure is, Disciple. Giving love to Disciple as well. Well, yeah, absolutely. Are you and Westcott in the contest of Who gets to 1 billion coins first? I already won that battle. In terms of the battle against me and Wes, we are going to have a fun journey in the future with all of us. And I want y'all along for the ride as well. I want y'all to experience what is the next 50x, 100x, 1000x potential in the future. Guys, if you have this whole strategy built out and exactly like we've been seeing, just using this whole conversation of the DCA strategy right here, for example, what you can see is there are some days where you end up getting more tokens than others, right? So if you just look at some of these days where I was making these purchases, I've been keeping track of this and will continue to keep track of this. It's actually now become a habit to where now I've done it enough times. I just wake up and knock out this purchase at some point in time. It's a simple little purchase. I hop on, knock it out, and then move on with my day. I don't even have to worry about anything. But you can see over the span of time, there are days where hex on the Pulse Chain Network, I was only getting 500. There were other days when you scroll down and the price was actually increasing where we would end up getting 650, right? And then you get into the most recent days where we end up getting into like 700 hex on some of these purchases. And then when the price starts pumping, well, look how fast those numbers go away, folks. You start getting into the 297, 293 tokens per $5, right? And you could look at the same thing on the Pulse Chain side as well, y'all. Look at how many tokens we can get now, less than 100,000 for $5. That's okay, because at one point in time, you could get above 100,000 for $5. And we did that, and you can continue to do this for the span of time. You can see the average prices of where we all sit as well. And we just saw these prices actually go up even higher than what they're sitting at currently. So even after everything, my average price is still lower than what the current prices are, meaning in every single one of these items, we are in profit already. Now, of course, this is the beginning of where profit's going to take us, so I'm not going to get too stuck on where we're at right now because there's a long road ahead and a long journey ahead that we are going to be seeing, and I cannot wait for y'all to join us along that ride as well. Happy Friday, y'all. Hope everyone is doing well. Exactly, Godfather J6. Salute to you, my brother. Love from Norway, Martin Johansson. Thank you so much. Love to you as well, my friend. 1 billion coins. Absolutely, guys. And again, like, so we've said in the past, your goals should be set on different tiers, right? You should always, it's the 5 P's, folks. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. This is the exact same strategy when it comes to levels and goals that you have for yourself. If your very first level that you're trying to attain can be purchased, or if your goal, let's say, can be purchased in the span of one transaction, that's not really a goal in my perspective, the way I look at it. The goal is something that you set to venture toward moving forward into the future, so you have a set purpose to get there. If you can attain your goal in one purchase, that's not a goal, if you ask me. That, or at least let's say that's the first level. You should start with the goal. Then the next level you have that you can attain within the span of, I don't know, a month of DCAing. Cool. The next goal should be something you can attain within a year of DCAing, possibly. And then the fourth goal or fifth goal should be a number that could be just so unfathomable for you to have right now. But should it ever attain, could be beautiful. But that's why we are going to continue to DCA, folks, for the next 6 to 12 months. This is the reason why there is a purpose to this. Because at the end of the day, this is going to help journey it for y'all to all see. But I want also for y'all to partake and participate and join along on the challenge. Because the power of DCA is super freaking powerful. Again, if during this entire time a coin ends up going up and doing a 200x, but during that time your average is a 50x from the time where you're currently sitting, and your average is a 50x, you smashed it, my friend. Because you didn't, for one, have to try to time the bottom of the market to capture that 200x. Many people won't see that, and that's okay. That's not what you're here to do. You're not trying to time the market. We're not trying to set the exact hit. We're not hitting a home run on this play. We're just looking out there and setting ourselves up for future success. Because at the end of the day, the amount of tokens that you can gather and attain is what really matters at the end of the day, folks. That's it. How many tokens are you going to have when the prices reach XYZ numbers? That's it. And then what are you going to do with those whenever it actually attains? So, beautiful little item on this one as well. And I wanted to give everyone a little shout out. Kaisa on this one saying DCA is the way. A friend that I onboarded had a few $1,000s in stables sitting on the sidelines waiting for the perfect moment to jump into EHEX. He didn't buy, and now we're 3x higher, and he gets FOMO. And guys, I want to let everyone know this statement happens to all of us. It's something that I think everyone almost has to kind of go through to earn your stripe into the world of investing, almost, if you will. It's that concept that I'm going to wait for a lower price and I'm not going to take any action. And the downside is typically when that happens, things like to just run off, especially in crypto. We've seen it so many times where a bottom can hit and then it just goes and it's never to be seen again. And that's what a lot of people were anticipating, which is why sometimes just getting in is the way to do it. Whether it's a DCA strategy of every single week you go ahead and just get in, or if you at least start a purchase with maybe 50% or 70% of the portfolio that you have ready to deploy, and then save a small portion for dips in case they should arise. But you never want to be caught and left in the dust, because this will happen to so many individuals, y'all. So many individuals will hear this exact same story. And folks, when the pump happens, I am telling you, the pump goes fast, okay? It literally will go exactly like you see on screen right here, guys. This is how quick it can happen. Again, this is the hex on the Ethereum chart. But look, this is his friend saying, I got $1,000 here. I'm not going to deploy. I'm not going to deploy. I'm not going to deploy. I'm going to wait until it ends up reaching, we'll say 2 zeros and a 2. I think that's where I'll deploy. And they set this number in their head for it to end up getting to this number. And that number may never be attained. Okay. Or you could even say 2 zeros 5 or 2 zeros 2 5, for example. Set something where they're like, you know what? I think all the numbers are good, but if it drops another, I don't even know, what would that be? 30%. Okay, cool. I'm going to get in at that point in time. Okay. Most times what happens is you don't get in and then it goes off and does this. And folks, this is a 4x within the span of 9 days. 315% move in the span of 9 days. Something that I did is I bought every single one of these days, regardless of what the price was. And guess what happened today on this red candle? I bought again, because it's a DCA thing that I'm buying regardless of what's happening for the price, because I see these prices as minuscule, folks. A penny for a hex in the future that I can see possibly reaching $1 per hex. Yeah, that's a 100x gain right there, my friends. That's the way I look at this. So even if you're buying when it's up here at 10 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents, when it reaches $1, folks, it's not going to matter, because your average will be way down here. So yeah, it may do 100x from here, reaching $1. And if you went all in at this time, cool. You know what I mean? It may do 100x from here and just bam, you got yourself $1. But most times people don't go all in. And I don't think it's wise to do that either, because that's trying to like just make a perfect play. So keep that in mind, guys, because this will happen to a lot of individuals. A lot of people started getting FOMO, especially with the most recent pump, because they saw how fast it can move. And so far, people will love buying the tops of local tops. But if you're continue to DCA over the span of time, it doesn't matter when you buy, folks. What matters and what hurts is when you buy and you stop. So you end up buying this local top at 0.0012 or 0.012 for Ethereum hex. And then you end up losing 30% of the value. And then for whatever reason, you say, I'm going to get out and I'm going to buy back that position more later. And it's the weirdest thing ever. And you get yourself absolutely wrecked. So please don't put yourself in the predicament to see that happening, my friends. You're going to be a quadrillionaire. DCA would have been better, but he didn't listen. Let's hope we get another dip. Hey, for your friend, I hope so as well, guys. So how about that? But he's got to get in, right? You got to start somewhere. I mean, even if you was to get in right now, just looking at where it was in the just candle it most recently hit, again, a 50% increase in the position that can happen relatively quickly, folks. So I don't want to get left behind. I don't want you to get left behind either. Buying dollars for pennies right now. Facts. Exactly what we're doing right now. Dollar, I see anywhere to $100 to $500. Yeah, exactly. Imagine a world where you look 15 years in the future and it's $100 per hex, my friends. What if it's 10 years in the future and 15 years you're sitting at $500 per hex? The numbers get absolutely ludicrous, because the way it works is supply and demand, and if there's a lot of people who are staked and there's not a lot of hex available on the market to be sold or to be bought, and demand is really, really high, it does what it does with supply and demand, my friends. So with that said, guys, I want to share I wanted to share this because it's an in-depth look at the magic of DCA backed by 6 weeks of real world results. So guys, if you found this discussion helpful, if you found this to be insightful, if you found this to be inspiring or something for you to finish and inspire as well, please give it a thumbs up, share it, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button for more of this crypto wisdom. This is ATX Crypto signing off. Keep investing, keep believing, and remember, your financial future is in your hands. Till next time, peace.